If you want comfort, go read a cookbook. If you want transformation, welcome to the Strange Sculpting Podcast. I'm Don Strange. We kill excuses, prioritize protein, and build discipline. Let's get to work.
Welcome to the Strange Sculpting Podcast. If you're new, if you've never watched one of my podcasts or listened to it, this isn't about inspiration. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. It can be both those things, though. By the way, today's guest, I got a man here that has lost a ton of weight. And it is a very motivational, a very inspirational message he's going to tell you, because he's going to go through how he went from over 400 pounds to stepping foot in a bodybuilding show in just 8 short weeks. So I'm going to introduce you to my guest today. His name is Joe. Here he is. I cannot wait for people to see this picture that I'm going to show them in a minute, Joe, because whenever I met you just short, like 6-7 weeks ago at an NPC Midwest event, and I've been a trainer for over 20 years, and I have seen very few people that have transformed like you've transformed. You're going to do very well in Houston in 8 weeks whenever you do their transformation show. It's going to be amazing to see what you do there. Can't wait to see it. But I instantly liked you. I instantly liked your story. I liked that you're a straight shooter. And so that's the reason why I said, I'm going to have this guy on my podcast. I want to talk to him. I want him to tell people, because to me, if you've seen my transformation at the show, you've seen me, and it's like 60 pounds, 50 pound fat loss. And the transformation was more than that because of body composition to gain a little bit of muscle mass. But it's nowhere near like yours. Yours was radical. And then whenever you told me how long it took you to get there, we'll get into that. I was even more shocked, because most people, it doesn't take that long, but I liked that it took that long for you. I loved it, because you actually, there was ebbs and flows to it wasn't, weight loss isn't linear. And so you actually, I know now, because it took you 10 years to drop this weight, that it's sustainable. It's not just a quick fix, which, I wrote the 40-day fix. It's right above you. It is the quick fix, but it's the foundation for nutrition and fitness. And so that's the reason why I wrote the book. But here you go, guys. Here is the transformation. I want you guys to look at this. Look at that. Here he weighed 405 pounds on the top. On the bottom, 178 pounds of chiseled. Looks like he went from a piece of sponge cake to a statue of David. That's what it looks like, man. What a freaking transformation. But let me ask you this question. You didn't get results by complaining. Not really. You complain, you remain. What was the exact moment that you killed the excuses? You said, I'm not going to blame genetics. I'm not going to blame my schedule. And you took absolute responsibility for your weight. Because, you're 405 pounds. Mm. What was it? What was the switch that said, I'm done?
I think the biggest switch was realizing it took just so much to do anything, just walking down the street. You don't realize when you're 405 pounds or 380 or say for anybody for 260, you don't realize how much energy it takes your body to do certain things, And as I went through transformation and I started having a few medical problems here and there, really that I didn't think were medical problems, because the reality was, my wrist was hurting. My shoulder was hurting. Well, I had this little crick in my neck. And when you're 405 pounds, I grew up, I was 185 pounds. Okay. Just all the time. When you get to 405, mentally, you're not 405. So it took a little bit of that to realize that, you used to wear a size 28 pants and now you're wearing a size 56 pants. Seeing a doctor and him saying, you're not going to see fit people.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it, man.
Yeah. Sorry. That's the thing one right.
Oh, no, that's exactly right, man.
And clap to that. I think the wheels are I was about to that. And it was hard at first to um, step in the gym. You see all these fit people that I used to see years ago. Yeah, being that person back in the day, I was fit.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm on the other side of it. I was the big guy trying to walk on a treadmill. I couldn't do 5 minutes. Sorry, it's low motion.
No, man. But it's very emotional. And that's what it's so funny because you were in denial, but you were miserable, but you were in denial.
That's it.
And then whenever and also you avoided those places. And I guarantee you too, when you went to gym, there's a few a-holes out there that are gonna make fun of you and say
Oh yeah.
that's what but for most of the time, whenever you walk in a gym, I applaud people that you're 405 pounds. It's like, yes, get it. Now, what I don't like is this. I don't like the body positivity movement at all. I don't like it
No.
because it keeps you where you're at. They lie to you and they exploit you, and it's disguised as empowerment.
Mhm.
And so, what do you think about that? I mean, you knew you needed to change. I mean, you got emotional by it because it's an emotional thing. You realize whenever the doctor tells you you're not going to live to be 50 years old, that is a statement no one wants to hear. But bottom line is, I'm glad that you had a doctor tell you that because they told you the truth and it saved your life.
You
It's
did.
amazing.
You did.
So, as far as body positive, go ahead.
Like good. No, because I think the part that really set in is um as a person, I didn't care who was laughing at me. I didn't
Yeah.
I wasn't there in the gym for them. And I knew why I was there. I had purpose, you know? And my pro I don't like to live
Go ahead.
was to live.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody, by the way, and you could tell people that are 4 and 5 pounds. We just said that there are people, but they're very few. There's not very many. Most of the people that are worth anybody gonna make fun of you for your weight whenever you're trying to change, they're not worth your breath. They're not worth to think about it.
Right.
And I will tell you this too: most people don't. Whenever they go in the gym, they're thinking about them. They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about that person on the gym. They're all self-consumed. And so I learned, I guess, because been in the gym industry for 20 years, one, I'm not a people watcher. It's like, whatever. I'm not because I've seen so much crazy stuff. It's like, I ain't worried about it. But the people that are watching you making fun of you, there's not very many of them. Most people are saying, that's awesome.
Yeah, that
I don't like the mentality behind people that don't want to change, but you did change. And that's why I have you on the podcast so you can inspire somebody that weighs 4 and 5 pounds. If Joe did it, you could do it too.
Yep.
Everyone screws it up, but I want to hear more about this. I want to hear just let's walk through it a little more because I got so many questions here. I got hundreds of questions, actually 20. Uh, 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 but I just want to hear more about that transition for 10 years. It took you 10 years to get to which I love that.
Yeah.
Or how was it? What was the ebb and flow? I mean, what did you do whenever you screwed up? Because for you to lose 10 pounds, 200 pounds over 10 years, um, that's results. And people despise small beginnings because if I'd have told you it's going to take you 10 years to get in the shape you're in whenever you're 50 or whenever you were younger, whenever you're 40, whenever you started, you might have said that's too long. But looking back is the progress you've had is amazing and it's sustainable. But what did you do? So to go through your mentality, how it changed over the years, over the last 10 years, how did it change?
I think it started with understanding that the diet had to change right away. I got that right away. But you're 405 pounds, you get told that you're not gonna see 50, and then you go home and you're like, I'm gonna change. And then of course, there was that big old slab of rib I threw on the grill. Yeah, I'm like, "Eh, I'm gonna change. No, so, that was first hey, that was the first part. Um, Honestly, the hardest part wasn't the food. Like they food's easy. It's having it's having family support.
Oh, wow.
You gotta have
And did you
uh, Sorry. Yes, I did.
No, that's good.
I did. Believe it or not, um, when I explained to them that I didn't tell anybody, not even my wife at the time, that what the doctor had said. And when I decided to change things, I started changing things, and it's funny because you start changing yourself, not realizing that it's really gonna change everybody. You just don't realize it at that point, at least at the house, because I mean, let's be realistic. Um, I'm gonna go to eating rice and chicken where we were eating pork chops and steak, you know, baked potatoes and macaroni and cheese, and they're looking at you like, "So we're eating this, huh? Well, if you wanna eat, that's what we're eating." So, I'm not making 3 meal guys, and, so, they get on board a little bit, and of course, it's like everybody else, they're gonna go out and do their own thing from time to time because they don't wanna eat what you're cooking. But that's what it took. It took some family support, probably a few arguments about what you're buying at the grocery store, and just really understanding that there has to be a change. And, the biggest change, I think, was understanding that we had raised our children to not drink sodas, to not do this, to not do sugars and everything, yet that we were doing it as a parent. As we got older, we were doing it. So, you can't have a double standard. And so, I told myself, "Okay, well, you gotta live it if you're gonna teach it, you're gonna preach it." So, here we go. And, that's what I did. And so, um, there's always that 30 days you go well, and then, of course, you have a drop off, and, it's gonna happen. We're human, right? But it's to understand, I think the biggest part to understand is when you're 405 and you step on that scale and, when you're 398, that's a big win. You see what I'm saying? Big sound, that's a big win. And so that's where it started, was just the little wins, and dropping from a 56 pants to a 54 pants, and then pretty figure out of the 50s, and hell yeah, I can do this, and so I think it's and then eventually, the belief in the family and friends that want to see you succeed is there. It's very funny because at 405 pounds, everybody's your friend.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
not so much at 380 when you're not drinking and you're not doing all the things you were doing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you that.
So, so,
When you
so,
start
so
getting disciplined, your circle tends to sabotage you. Oh yeah, they like it just as long as we're all comfortable.
that's it. That's
But
it.
just as soon
So
as how long
it's
did you deal with that? Because I always tell people, you can't take everybody up the ladder of success with you. And so some people are not going with you. They're not going to stay lean. I mean, I remember whenever I started, people had saboteurs. I always say this: people, you fall in two categories. Either they don't accept you for two reasons: either you're too successful, or you're a big failure. If just as long as you're maintaining it, whatever, but the mundane, everybody's okay with you. So you said that. That's funny. That was my next question. I was going to add on to it. So who in your circle tried to sabotage? You don't have to say names,
yeah,
but it had to get uncomfortable.
yeah, it does. It does. There's a lot of people that I mean, to this day, from 4 to 5 pounds, I haven't heard nothing from them since then. You know,
Isn't that
and it's
amazing? That's
okay.
so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's okay because I don't want to say, I'm not going to blame social media and everything else, but everybody's got a standard for themselves now, and sometimes it's influenced by the wrong things out there. And so I tell people is that you're still your own person, and if you want to lose the weight, or you want to better yourself in some way, if you just want to stop drinking, or maybe you just want to stop smoking, it's gonna change who's in your life. It's just gonna do.
No, you
It's
100%.
something you have to accept. If you can't accept that, then you've already set yourself up for failure. And I believe that in my weight loss journey, at least in mine, is that I've told people that were even bigger than me already, that I've seen them in the gym, and I walk up and say, "Hey man, keep at it."
I love that. That means a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is understanding what they're going
Yeah.
through. They're doing it.
I love the fact I love the fact that you know what they're going through, because everybody
Yep.
doesn't. You do. I mean, the deal is I was 50 pounds overweight. No, you were 200 pounds overweight. It's a much different ball game. It's a like, you were like, And also this, the fact that you said at the beginning that you were in such denial, you didn't even want to believe it because even if you're 50 pounds overweight, you're like, no, it's not that bad. I had a client, one of my clients, he said, he used to say, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. Until the doctor says it's that bad. It's that bad. And that's a big, that's a shock. It's kind of like this. Training is expensive. You know that you have trainers, you have a trainer. I am not, by the way, guys, I am not his trainer. He's got a pro trainer. I am a trainer. I want you to train with me, but his trainer's a really good trainer. Well, for Liz.
I want to give a shout out to her. Her name is Juno Gardenhire. And she has them out here.
We'll put the link. I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the bottom if they want to reach out to her.
Awesome gym, awesome people.
Yeah. But going back to that, I had one of my clients just say, I wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad. And then he was that bad. But this is what's fascinating is literally you spend a lot of money on training guaranteed because you actually now you value your body. But it's amazing how many people in my life as a trainer that I know I can help because I train bodybuilders. I train people who want to lose 200 pounds, whatever else. I've had a couple of those. 2 of them, but they'd get behind my desk and they'd give me one of these. Now the deal is, but the deal is if you're 500 pounds and you're giving me one of these to begin with, I wasn't that sympathetic to be honest with you because I was young. It's like I can save your freaking life, but they give me one of these. But I wasn't compassionate enough like you are because you've dealt with it. So you would be like, hey, you can help them. Now I can because I'm not stupid. I get mad at them. It's like, I don't want to waste my time. If you give me this, but this right here, I guarantee you could have done this to some people just because now you're crying because you see what you went through because all the emotional toll that it took on you. But I had so many people do this. Like, I think I could freaking save your life, but there's a difference between cost and price. Cost. What's it going to cost you if you keep going down the route? You would pay all the money in your bank right now. Saying back then, if to get the results you have guaranteed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely. Not without question.
it's amazing. Yeah, how many people you think right now out there that like people they store up all this money, spend all this money everybody else, but they won't get an expert to help them. No. The fastest point to enlightenment is find somebody to do what you did, and one day you might be a trainer. Joe, you might be a trainer. Because you can help people that even your trainer probably can't help. Because you have the sympathy. I have a lady that trains with me right now. Her name's Cynthia Mandel. And she went from 450 pounds to 180 pounds. And she's like 60 something years old. And she had a lot of loose skin, which you don't have a lot of loose skin, which is great. You have a little bit on your stomach, but everywhere else you are very lean. That's awesome, man. Because it took you, it took you 10 years to lean. So your body came back. But she's actually my trainer for people who are over. If you need to lose 150 pounds, you go to her because I know the science behind it. I know the math. It's all a math game and a macro game. But the emotional toll, I haven't walked a mile in your shoes. And so that's the reason why she works with me to help people like you, or that were like you, because it's an extension. Because they can reach people I can't reach with the same message I have, except in terminology that will hook them rather than offend them, because I'm not going to offend anybody. But back in the day I might have, because I can't stand the fat body positivity bullcrap. I can't stand it. I might say a fat joke confusion because I think it's funny. I'll tell you this too. You're not a sensitive person. I know that. As far as, if somebody's going to be mean, you just throw them away. But I had a client one time who was, she's probably 500 pounds. She was hilarious. One of the funniest people I ever met in my life. She was joyful, man. I love that woman. She's passed away since then. But she would tell fat jokes all the time. And sometimes I laughed a little too hard. She got offended. Why? Because it was that's like, he said, "Don't." He said, hit home a little bit whenever I laughed too hard. Okay, next question I got for you.
Yeah.
I think I already said this, but I think I already asked this question, but I want to nail it down a little more.
Okay.
Let's see here. Which one was it? Okay. This is a different one. everyone screws up. We know that everyone screws up. Whenever you weren't perfect the whole time, nobody is. I think probably now you are because you've been 10 years. You're getting ready for a show. You're 100% on this thing. But when you blew it during this transformation, so during the 10 years, whenever you blew it, how did you reset within 24 hours rather than turning into like a 7-day binge? Because to get to 405 pounds, you were binging a lot. But during this transformation, I guarantee you there were days whenever you broke down. If you didn't, that's amazing. But what changed in your mind, and how did you reset instead of turning a 24-hour, or instead of having one treat meal turn into a 7-day binge? How did you stop it? What was it?
I think
How'd you stop it?
I think a lot of it is understanding where you came from. Just understanding that it's you're gonna fall off at some point. You know you're gonna have that weird I can't stay from whatever and just to try it or whatever. But you still have to have the discipline to know that right there, whether it's in the training for what we're doing right now or just
Yeah.
to maintain who you are right now, you cannot go there. And that, and I mean, you have to, as a person, you got to know what you're trying to do for yourself. And if you're going for extreme weight loss or just say 20 pounds, you know, I have a lot of sympathy for people that do 20 pounds, and this is why. Half those people that are doing 20 pounds are already at 15% or 18% body fat, and that is hard at that
Really
level.
hard. That's really hard.
But when you're coming from 36%, 40%, 50% body fat, I mean, it's pretty easy to lose a little bit because your body's gonna react to what you're not eating, you're obviously in a deficit, so your body's already starting to react
Oh yeah.
one way or the other. And so I think that thing about it is just to remember what you're trying to do, but it has to be at the forefront of your head all the time. So, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, before I got involved with the trainer I'm in with right now,
Yeah.
it did we tried twice to go t and I didn't make it either time because I had so many setbacks myself. And no,
Yeah.
I take full responsibility of it. A lot of people say, "Well, he did this, he did that." No, I take full responsibility of it because ultimately it's my show, it's my game, right? So
Yeah.
it's even like right now, my trainer right now has said the same thing, and I 100% believe them. I've always believed the trainer when they say, "I can show you how to do it. I can put it together for you, but you got to do the work." That's
Yeah.
and that is it from 400 pounds to now, and I got to do the work. So, is there easy ways to do this? Yeah. Could I have gone and had a surgery and eat 10 cakes later and still be 180? Probably. But that's not how I
Yeah.
wanted to do it. I wanted to earn
Yeah.
it because, quite frankly, I earned 405 pounds. So
Yeah.
I want to earn back to where I want to be.
Also this, anytime you try to do a quick fix, whether it be bariatric surgery or, Ozempic or whatever it is, which I'm all about tools, by the way. I like tools.
Yep.
Tools, nothing wrong with the tool unless the tool's abused. And so if you want to take a GLP-1, I don't care, care less, as long as you don't abuse it the wrong way. Same way with bariatric surgery. But it's the people that get the surgery, like the lap band or whatever it is, or the GLP-1, and they're taking it, and they don't change their lifestyle. They just do it. It will never fix them long term, though. I know all kinds of people that had gastric bypass surgery gained all the weight back. In fact, the lady that I talk about that lost 250 pounds since she's been with me, she had gastric bypass, lost all the weight and gained it all back. Why? Because she didn't change her lifestyle. Now she has, because she put protein first and understands macronutrients, understands eat. And also what you said earlier, you alluded to this fact that you had, I forgot how you put it, but basically you're a different person. In order to be who you are now, you couldn't be the 405-pound guy. You had to change your mind and you had to focus on what you wanted rather than the freaking Little Debbie snack cakes, which, by the way,
Yeah.
I love that hoe, man. She's a great looking one. Little Debbie and
I got away from that. Got to walk away from that every time.
so you got
And
to.
then Sarah Lee,
Yeah,
it just walk the other way.
this is funny too because whenever I first started training, I was really never did have a problem with sweets, Joe. Never had a problem with sweets. I got a trainer. He's a great trainer. Best money I ever spent, by the way, as of this trainer. It was like boot camp. He'd say, whenever I'd walk in the gym, if I had a piece of gum, Joe, he'd say, "You chewing gum, boy?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did I tell you to chew gum?" No, I spit it out. And basically, if I didn't like it, his mentality was, if it tastes good, you can't eat it, which you don't have to make things unnecessarily hard. I'm not for that. As a trainer, I don't make things, it's hard enough just to be disciplined, just to follow a plan. You don't have to make people eat food they hate, because it's, unless you got really good mental resolve, you're like David Goggins, you're not going to stick with it long term. But I remember it was basically meat. He'd say, "Do you like, he'd say, you like grapefruit? No. Okay, I'll put it on your plan." It's like, my gosh, this is really hard. And so I do everything he said, Joe, everything he said. But what happened was, after training with him for a year, and I got so shredded in my 20s, I could show you my transformation. I don't have it here, but from skinny to fit, really fit in like a year. I looked great. And it was just lean meats and vegetables I didn't like. I don't like rice, but he put rice in the bread. "Can I have pasta?" "No." And so I do what he said. But what's funny after that is, like, I could literally, if I think I had radar. If there was a Hostess truck within a mile of me, I could feel it. And before that, Joe, I didn't care. Okay, but I didn't eat any sweets. But after doing the low carb, because that's what it was, this low carb and carbs I didn't like, it was like, man, I became a binger like crazy. Also, when I had a treat meal, it turned in from a treat meal to a treat day to a treat weekend to where to this right here. This right here. It turned into that right there. That's what it turned into. That's right. Just from going from a treat meal to a treat weekend to then completely off the radar. I was a trainer. Joe, I was a trainer right here in the fat, but isn't that crazy? But I knew a lot. I just didn't apply what I.
No, that's it. That's what it is, but you didn't apply it to yourself.
Absolutely. One thing that I did though, because that was 10 years in my training thing, I went from you go from learn knowledge to teaching knowledge without practical application. You lose all credibility. And I didn't do that initially. It's just you said this earlier. Some people have to fall off your life. It's funny to me. And you go to most gyms, by the way, most trainers are not in peak shape. And I think one reason why is because you can't take everybody bladder with the success with you. I was so fit, but then my whole day was spent with overweight people. They started influencing me more than I influenced them, Joe. Crazy.
Yep.
Anyway, so I
Oh,
would.
back to what we're just talking. Back to what we're just talking about as bridges and stuff. I think the biggest thing for most people that's understanding, or anywhere along the line, right? There's a responsibility to yourself and an accountability for yourself, and that has to be at the forefront. And people, it's like everything in life. People walk away from things all the time because it's too hard, or because I didn't like it. And this is not one of those things you can do. This is your health. This is your life. This is whether you're gonna see 50 or you're gonna see 8. That's what it is. And I think that's what people have to really focus on. When I see people in BMI with, mm, I always hear the talk, especially they come in or I see people that are trying to eat healthy, and it's a great thing. And then you see that large shake in front of them, and you're just like, damn it, you had it until that point, you know? And again, it's part of different hat, how much responsibility you have for yourself, you know? We and there's now company out there. There's a company right out there. I'm not gonna say who it is because I'm not gonna promote somebody or whatever, but they come out with a shake, and I had to have that shake because I wanted it so bad. And I can have shakes, but I make it with my oatmeal, and it's the best damn thing in the world. And I was all like, I actually did a review on it because I was kinda like, you know what? If I was craving the sweet, you nailed it because that thing is awesome.
Is it a protein shake?
Sure, it's a cake. Yes, it is.
No, I don't care. Promote them if you like it.
I'm gonna put it its first form, and they have a butter cake, although they have out there, and that thing really does taste like butter cake. And I put it in my oatmeal. Yeah, and I put it in my oatmeal, and with PB2, and woo,
Butter cake, huh?
well, I'm a butter cake. Yeah, butter cake.
He lives right down the road from me, Andy Facetta.
Yes, it is the most awesome thing in the world, and I know they had it online. When we just went to a different show over here in Kansas City, a natural 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. Bill's first home was there, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, you got that here?" He said, "Actually, no." He said, when they promoted that online, because you can't get it in the store, they told us it's going to be a while because they sold so much. I was like, I can believe that. I bought 2. I really do both. Where I knew it was going to be like this.
Right. That's good. Wow. I'm going to try some myself. I got my own protein powder, strange way, but I always like trying other people's stuff. Plus, as far as I'm concerned, if you buy my stuff, people buy my stuff, that's great. I love it. I sell good products. Deal is if they W. My main objective is to make sure you get in great shape. That's the reason why you're here. I don't mind you plug in your trainer because we're all in it together. I want people to live. And one thing, you got such a great heart for people too. I love it because I think this is going to help people. It's like, hey, if Joe could do it, you could do it. And I think what's sad, Joe, when I was in school, nobody is overweight. I'm 49 years old, going to be 50 in October. If you want to buy me a present, October the 8th, write that down, Joe. But the deal is, I would, there was only 3 overweight people in my class. Now I go into Walmart. If I feel bad about myself, I go into Walmart. I go in there for the wrong reason because I am the most fit. As bad a shape as I'm in the best shape in Walmart. I feel like an A-list celebrity. And it makes me sad because it's so easy to get overweight now. The 80% of the population is overweight, obese, or severely obese. And so whenever you talk, I love your heart because you love people and you really want them to change. And I think a lot of people are going to hear this and it's going to motivate them to change. I'm not into motivation and inspiration. I'm into discipline, and discipline, you just got to keep disciplining yourself. But whenever you go to the doctor and they say, you ain't going to live, but you ain't going to see 50. And how many people out there that way? I think this next generation, the first generation, is not going to outlive the previous generation. And the main driver for that is obesity. It really is. That's the reason why I don't like the body positivity bullcrap, because it holds people into it lets people be okay with dying. And I'm not okay with that. I can't stand that. It makes me mad that I can't stand them. Okay. My next question is this. You got a phone call there, don't you?
I don't know what that is. Yeah, it shouldn't be. I had it off. Good.
That's no problem. I thought, man, guys, it's got to be important, you know?
No, I can't. I'm supposed to be turned off. I don't know why it went off. Oh.
Okay. Now that you cross a bridge from fat to fit, what's the single non-negotiable standard you hold yourself to that you never let slide back to average? Because you're a different man. You're a disciplined person. What is it? What's the one non-negotiable thing that you never slide back to average with?
I don't. Well, there's a couple of things I would say. First for myself, I think I used to let opinions filter how I handle things. And what I mean by that is, you know, at 260, 270, when I got down there, people were like, man, it's great. You're good. And I was like, in my head, you know what? I am good. Lock up 120 pounds already. I'm good. And those kind of things creep in your head because you're kind of like, you know what? I've done the work and I'm good where I'm at. But no, my goal is my goal. I love it. And so you're right. That's the first one. My goal is my goal. Second was really finding people that understand, and then this sounds almost harsh, I think, when I say it sometimes, is
It's okay. I like her.
I don't have a friend. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I have a friend. And what I mean by that is they understand who I am and what I'm doing for myself. And so they respect it. So there's no phone calls of like, hey, we're going party and you want to go. They go party. I don't care. They just know not to call me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, we're having
I'm dude. I lost you. Hey, Deb, I think I can hear you again. You can? I can hear you now. I'm going to take that off.
So the weirdest thing about it is I left my train of thought there. Oh, that when we've been with that set of friends that, they do things and they go do their thing, but they also know that when we're going to do, it's going to be with the realm of what we can do. And that's it.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is we may go dancing, but we're not drinking. We bring our nose. We're drinking water, even at a respectable time because we got to get to bed because we got training in the morning. where I love it. And that's kind of one of the hardest things people have to deal with whenever you're dealing with people nowadays that in a world of me. Well, about you, but my health and my resilience to myself is about me, and you're not going to waver that's kind of one of the. So those are the two things that are really non-negotiable for me anymore. Is my health. You're not going to. That my health is not important to me, and I'm going to do what you need. At the other is you don't have to be part of what I do. You really don't. I can be I can be a friend, and I don't have to actually, you know, be involved with what you're doing to be your friend. Something happens,
Yeah, absolutely. People want you comfortable with them. And whenever you're challenging them because you're getting better, they're like, whoa, that's very hard for them.
yes, it is.
But I love the fact that you said it's my goal's my goal. As a trainer, I don't care what people's goals are. As far as I'm not going to impose my goal on somebody. I train competitors. I'm not going to compete anytime soon. Probably never will. And that's because it's not my goal. But I love people who train for competitions because they're the 1% that keeps me motivated to have abs. But I never push my goal on other people because it's none of my business. But it's like amazing to me how many people do that to everybody else. As a trainer, I understand that. They'd be like, what do you think I should do? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what you need to figure. You need to figure that out yourself. Because if I figure it out, you're always looking for me for your motivation. You figure out what you want and then do it.
Yep.
That's what I would tell
That's
people.
the thing right there. That's the thing right there is when you're that big, there's a lot of negative out there for you to just steer you off your path. You know, you have to have the discipline. You have to have the responsibility of yourself. But more to the point, you've got to surround yourself with new people. You know, I have a friend that is an alcoholic, and I've told him before. I was like, because he said it to me. He goes, man, your transformation's so awesome. This and that. I said, it's no different than you. You can't drink. You don't hang around people that drink. I don't hang around people that eat. That's what it is. Exactly. You know what I mean? And he kind of starts laughing. He goes, people that don't eat. I was like, well, not what I can't eat. No, I said, but there's also that discipline of that too. I mean, you go somewhere with friends, I can still hang out with you at X, Y, and G places. Doesn't mean I have to eat what you're eating. And that's kind of where people get lost is that there's healthy options everywhere you go, man. You just, it may not be exactly what you want, but it will be close enough and you can doctor it up. And I haven't yet to go into any place and tell them, can you not put butter in my rice? And they say no.
Yep.
I've never had that.
That's so good. That's so good. I always tell my clients, this is a good one, and you probably know this. I always say, when you go to a restaurant, if you want to stay under your calorie allowance, don't get a carb choice. Don't get a carb choice because they put so much fat and stuff. But then also, get it naked. You don't get any butter. Tell them don't put butter on the steak. Don't put butter on the vegetables. I mean, it's amazing. You go get a vegetable medley at a restaurant, and it's 500 calories. Well, how much butter are they freaking putting in these? This is broccoli and carrots. It's 500 calories. That's insane because they load it up with butter, which butter makes everything better. But butter will stick to your gut if you eat too much.
Be on that treadmill for another week just trying to get that butter off.
It's amazing too. You can't out train a band dying. You like cardio. I was shocked whenever I heard that you like cardio.
It's one of those things that sometimes, you tell yourself, I was like, why do I like this so much? It's almost I don't know. I mean, it's funny because you get in there sometimes with the cardio and you're just like, if I don't do cardio, I feel like I didn't work out. Even though you were lifting weights and everything else, I just didn't do my work hard.
Oh, I hate cardio. I can't stand it. I hate it, but it's good. It's good for your heart and your lungs. And no, I remember just about 5-10 years ago. This is a story off the beaten path system, but me and my wife went and did a half marathon, and it wasn't much of a half marathon. I mean, seriously, it was an awful half marathon because I don't like running. This is not a lie, Joe. We passed an 80-year-old man. No, hand to God, 80-year-old man, mile 7. And he was like, you guys are doing good. No, we're not. We just passed you. I was mad. I could got an 80-year-old man and we just passed. No, this is awful.
This is awful.
But that's not my. But I love the fact that you do it. I mean, you're a true blue, and I can tell that you're living the brand. And I love the fact that you are you've changed your life. Not only you changed your life, this podcast is going to motivate lots and lots of people, help people. But you're living a different life. You've disciplined yourself. You changed who you are. You're not who you were when you're 400 pounds. You're a completely different mindset, and you got a winning attitude. You don't complain. You just make it happen. I love that about you. I love your story. I think it's going to help a lot of people. I really do. You got any parting words for people? You got any one line of motivation for the people out there? I'm not a motivational guy, but if you could say one thing to inspire somebody to change, what would that one? If you had one piece of advice for anybody that's 400 pounds, and look at this. Wait just 1 second. Look at this guy. This guy's not a normal guy. Look at that body, man. And also this, if you see him in person, he even looks better. Whenever I seen you in person, I was like, you had your veins in your arms were like hoses. I mean, he's lean. He's very lean. So what would one piece of advice you'd give somebody or one thing if they could take away from this podcast to help them? What would it be?
Be honest with yourself.
Yep. Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow too. It's a hard pill for you to swallow whenever the doctor told you if you didn't lose weight, you're going to die in 10 years. I feel like that's changing now where doctors, at least the last 4 or 5 years, doctors we didn't say that. Be like, okay, you're okay. You're okay. I remember a couple of years ago, I was so mad whenever I seen Cosmopolitan magazine and had this overweight person that said, this is the new fit. No, it's not. That person's going to die of obesity. Did you see that, by the way? Did you see that Cosmopolitan magazine? That made me angry because you're lying to people.
That's it. You're lying to people. You have changed. It's like you lowered the bar because
You make people feel bad.
people don't want to meet the bar now. You know what I mean? And so now it's let's lower the bar so people can feel good about where they think they want to be. And if they hit that bar, they're good enough. Well, okay. There's still heart disease there at that bar. There's still a lot of respiratory issues. There's still I mean, you're still taking blood thinners because your blood's so thick. You know, it's sad to see that we're lowering the bar instead of raising our nutrition.
Yeah. It aggravates me. It really aggravates me.
And you know, there's a thing I truly believe this. You know, a lot of people talk about fat shaming, and yes, it's out there, right?
Yeah.
There's also fit shaming. Same thing.
Yeah. Explain that to me.
The shame, man.
Yeah, it's very sad that you're exactly right. There's a lot of people that that want to shame you for everything. You've dealt with a lot of shame, I can tell, because and because of that, your heart's tender because you can understand what people are going through. I got this attitude, and I don't know how I got it, but it's like this: I don't give a rip. But you got that same thing too because your heart's tender toward it because you went from 400 pounds to 187 pounds, and I could tell too you don't want to you don't want to get release people. All the people that left you in your past, you want to keep them. You want to bring them up to the level you're. You want to help as many people as you possibly can. I love that about you. Yeah, I don't know why. I think that you're going to be a trainer. I think you're going to train people because you got the heart for it. I just think you will be. I think you're going to help a lot of people. Yeah, hopefully that this podcast helped you if you're overweight, if you need to lose 200 pounds, 100 pounds, 50 pounds. I know how to do it, and so does Joe. But I honestly think, Joe, for some reason, I just think I don't think that God put you on the earth to lose 200 pounds, go through the stuff you have to not help people along the journey you did. I specialize in 50 pounds or less. I've trained people to weigh 400 pounds, a few of them, and I've got them great results. I have a trainer that helps people like that weighs 400 pounds, but I really believe that you're going to help a lot of people through this podcast. You'll help them through me and your trainer, but I don't know. I don't know what's in store for your future. But you know, I wish you the best. You're going to be doing a show. Tell people about the show you're doing. They can check you out. And also I'm going to put your Instagram. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're doing Summer Shred down in Houston, July 25th.
Mhm.
this is going to be the first show that I'm actually step on stage on. And believe it or not, this is actually, hopefully it's just a tune up to get ready for MPC and everything else going down the road. But it's, you know, my trainer was very real with me and said, we first got to, you know, we got to get you in shape. We got to get you where you need to be. And then let's take that first step and let's just get on stage. And that's kind of what this is to put the first goal out there. That's what this is. And not only me, there's 4 other people going, or 3 others with me. One of them happens to be my soulmate. She's going.
I met her.
You met her over there. Yeah, you met her over there. And she's doing it as well. And she's got her own journey. You know, she always says mine's not as big as yours, but you know, when you do it together,
Oh yeah.
can't beat that.
You can't beat that. Well, thank you so much, Joe. Before you guys leave, I got something I want to show you here. This is my stop guessing, start losing fast, no guesswork fat loss solution. There's a QR code down there at the bottom. You click that, and it's just no BS. It just tells you how to get in great shape. It's free. Get that free resource. Also, I'm going to show you one more thing, guys, right here on top of Jay, or not Jay, Joe. Are you Jay or you Joe? I've been calling you Joe because that's what you go by, but then you got Jay.
My real name is Jay. I go by Jay for years.
Okay, Jay Joe. I've called you Joe, but that's awesome. Anyway, right above you is my 40-day fixed book. Grab my book. It's the fastest way to get fit. It's a great book.
It's good.
Jay, you read it and you liked it. It was
Yes.
a good book.
Yes. All about your products and man, great flavor. Just go say that. There's great flavor on that energy. Woo, that was good.
Oh, do you like it? I really like that. Which one did you get?
I believe.
Which one did you get?
I think which one did you give me?
Was it cotton candy or was it fruit punch? Or was it melon?
No, melon. Melon's the one I love. Yeah. I like the fruit punch.
Melon is good.
Melon's.
I like to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate you being on the podcast with me.
Yeah.
Everything about Joe, everything about his trainer, everything about me is in the show notes below. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, it's in the show notes as well, or any other podcast thing that I'm on. Thank you so much, Joe. Until next time, guys, be disciplined and be fit.
Yes.
Stop thinking and start doing. Information without execution is just entertainment. You have the truth. Now go do the work. Your body isn't lazy, your excuses are. Get the tools you need at strangesculpting.com.